Found a slightly better mount, my junk drawer. It's definitely easier to load the pellets with this mount. I had to use some custom Barks shims. This one, not quite the same problem, but the little piece that clamps onto the receiver. I don't know if I can get that on there. Anyway, this little piece here, the knife edge that clamps onto it is too fat, so when it tightens, it doesn't draw down and in, it just sits there. So this is a universal mount. I think it's UTG or Leapers, some other cheap crap, but it's a universal one. It can fit 11mm or 3/8. This is an 11mm rail. And I found some old ass Weaver tip-offs. These aren't bad, they definitely hold really nice, but they tend to roll the scope when you tighten them, so you're constantly readjusting it, tightening it, readjusting it. They're okay. They definitely hold though. I had 4 different pellets that I had to work with. I don't shoot 17 cal a lot, so I don't have a lot of good pellets. But for the most part, the Crosman Piranhas, 10.5 grains, did pretty good. My R10 match wad cutters did alright. Number 3 was pretty good, and that was the 7.6mm daisies. Although I can tell you that lower shot number 3, that went in the chamber very tight, and it came out sounding funny, and I watched it tumble through the air through the scope. So might have to lube those, get them to chamber a little better. And number 4 was the Crosman pointed tip 7.4 grains. They were, I don't know, they seemed alright, but they definitely have different size heads and skirts. Everyone feels different chambering them, so those would be good for planking. That's it. I gave my Silhouette a shot. It's a 10mm Silhouette target. These things are tiny. I cannot see them without a scope, and I didn't do so good. I think I got seven good hits out of 16, or 30 rather. I took a couple extra shots there. They're hard to see. Anyway, Silhouette is pretty challenging, even at 10 meters. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go out to 45 yards and see if I can hit the little chicken at 45 yards. It's a tiny target at 45 yards. This is a scale drawing someone made up over at riflesilhouette.com. Sometimes I'll trace out little cardboard chickens. I don't use steel chickens in the yard because they tend to bounce and fly all over the place. So I just use paper into the backstop. So that's it. I'm going to give this a shot and see what happens. Hopefully I have enough elevation to get out to 45 yards. Overall, not too bad for a cheap piece of shit. Very frustrating for beginners. If you tried setting this up and you didn't really know to shim mounts or try flipping your rings around and doing other things, you'd probably just give up in frustration. This is my normal target. Just some old spoons and a piece of rebar. I usually put this at like 25 yards and just practice offhand with it. And I just try to hit 5 in a row. Don't know how this got bent. I'm gonna guess one of the guys that did work in my yard drove a piece of equipment across the yard and drove over it or something. I don't know. I'll pound it out one of these days.